Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club. Connection to this fine city like no other, where you actually can feel the camaraderie and friendship and membership. My name is Kirk Alexander, and I'm stepping in for Tony Kern today, and I look forward to leading this meeting. As of the 11th of July, I'll be up here, I promise, every week, doing exactly this. So let's get this started.
Hey, Kurt.
First, I'd like to bring up, well, I want to introduce who my sergeant of arms is first. I think that's what I'd like to say. Mr. Sappington, do you have the mic over there? Everybody knows who Tucker is?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have an inspirational leadership thought for the day coming from Suzette Wheeler, which please come up. And leading us in song, Rob Frazier. We're both up at the same time. And Suzette, if you give us an inspirational thought.
We're doing an invocation. Dear Lord God, thank you for everything that we have. We are so grateful for your blessings. And we think of your blessings every day. So thank you for everything that you've given us. We are so fortunate to be here. And I'll say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Suzette. And Brock, your favorite song?
Thank you. And one that we don't have to put the words up on board, because everybody knows them. And because you can sing it so push, the people in the next room are probably going to jump up and sing with us, okay? Because you guys are so good. So, with that, God bless America. God
Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right, follow us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So now we're at the point where I'd like to thank our meeting champions today, which starts off with Bob Warner, Kathy Mahan, and Lynn Eaton for setup. David Jones on AV, and the guest table readers, I had Nikki Gilliam, Bob Pfizer, and Ed Monaco. See, Ed, I'm talking to you. Anyhow, beyond that, there's somebody in the room that's recording history. We are scribe today, and I think that is Sean Sen. Yep, very good. And so, seated at the head table is our speaker, who's going to be introduced by Nikki Bates. Her name is Lisa Motley, as you all know. And past President Russ Wayne. Hey, Russ. All right. So, I want to introduce a little bit about the format of this meeting going forward. There's a couple of things on the table up here where the bell is. And one of them is a brick, a plain red brick. And for those of you that may know a little bit about me, probably understand what this might be for. So my theme for the year is, let's build something together. Every meeting, we're going to have someone share their Rotary moment. When they're finished, it's just going to be 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is that left an impression on their heart. They're actually going to sign the smooth side of this brick. Put their initials on it. We're going to put a Rotary emblem on this thing. We're going to collect 49 of them throughout the year, and then we're going to use them and build them around a tree as a well at one of our schools that we've planted a tree at. Wow. Okay? And for me to share something with you that is very dear to my heart, and I've told the story, a lot of you know it, but I actually want to show that there's a commemorative of that project that was built, designed, framed, put together. Lots of research was put into it. My daughter's name is on this. There's a Rotary angel. There's butterflies. And in the picture is the house we built in her name.
Wow.
This was a gift from Deb Grounder. She went on a build, and it impressed her so much that was after this build, she collected this information over the years and sent this to me recently. That, to me, is a Rotary moment. So the RA thing for the year also, that's also a big deal. That's going to change, obviously, from Create Hope in the World to the magic of Rotary. So we're going to use that as a theme for what our meetings will be about, and sort of what we'll bring out in our speakers and the people that attend those meetings for us. So we're going to emphasize the magic of Rotary. From what I understand, there will be no more theme internationally after this year. So that's a big change. Let's see. We got guests in the room today? Any guests? Any guests of Rotarians?
One.
Any international guests? Nope. I love it. You got a private room. Tucker's trying to make a guess. He's trying to let me find one. Okay. Very good. So there's some announcements that we need to make, and there's a presentation also I heard about that took place. It was a result of something that happened while I was gone. But first up on announcements, if Larry Cohn could give us a little bit of a background of the 25 Club beach cleanup, and also this evening's meeting.
Good day, everyone. First off, on the beach cleanup, it was a great event. We had a lot of participation. We picked up a lot of garbage and helped clean up a particularly hard place, a cove to find because there's no street name. We just had to kind of figure out it was 100 feet past the fish hatchery before the water reclamation building. But we all got there, and the park rangers were very, very good. As you can see by some of the pictures up there right now, thanks to Russ for bringing his boat out, and for Dave Jones for bringing his wave runner out there.
Mike Kudemans.
Oh, is that Mike Kudemans? Okay, well, thanks for Dave bringing Mike Kudemans' wave runner out. And everybody brought easy ups and chairs and lots of food, so it was a great event. On one other note, tonight is the 25 Club evening graduation and party at the Golf Center, and it's called Las Vegas Golf Center across from Town Square. And information and sign-ups for any of the 25 Club events are in the Green Book as well as online. We have about 50 people signed up for tonight, so it should be a real fun event, golfing, eating, sipping, and honoring the graduates of the 25 Club. We put in 2 years, myself 2.5 years, I get to graduate too, and we'll see you there tonight.
Very good, thank you, Larry. All right, Tucker, so would you take the mic to Rose? Can you give us a little background on follow-up on the VIP?
Hi, everyone. We had a great turnout. We had 26 people. Everyone that was there thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very informative. We were lucky enough to have 3 of the foreign exchange students with us, and I think they had a great time, according to what Mateo told me. So our tour guide was Rama Vinpat. He was awesome. He's the dean of the school. He provided us a lot of really in-depth information about what they're going to be doing going forward. And it's a pretty cool school. It's 53,000 square feet, 3 stories. We covered all of it, including the roof. The roof. And we had a really good time. So we're looking forward to the future ones that we have coming. We have 3 coming up in the calendar, and they're going to be really nice too. So, thank you.
Let's get some follow-up and an update on debunking from Tina.
So I told President Tony to make sure she has a wetsuit, including flippers and a snorkel, yeah, for the debunking. I hope everybody is signed up. Please do that by June 30th, because we need to have your name at the gate to get in. It'll be at Spanish Trails Country Club, 6 o'clock. 27th, what did I say, 23rd, 30th? So, that's what,
45, 50, 75, what's the
20th. June 20th, sign up.
There you go.
I'm looking at my email from Katie's. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. I follow directions well. So anyway, sign up by the 20th. It's the 27th, 6 o'clock, and be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, very good. Thank you, Tina. There's a ship sailing next Friday, and we're going to call it our district conference. Is there a show of hands in the room who's going?
Yeah, I just want
This table.
There you go. Okay, so there's 4 on 5.
There's 8 of us.
And there's 8 of us that, what is it, 4 plus 2 or 4 plus 1? Is that how that works? What happened there? Very good. And then what's awards? Is Don Holland in the room?
He is.
He is, very good. So I'll hear a little bit about the upcoming Wetzel Awards on the 11th of July.
The speakers are on opposite side of the So on July 11th, Thursday, we're going to be going back out to Nellis Air Force Base. We'll meet in the parking lot right outside the main gate at 2:30. And then they'll take us in by bus into the auditorium. And so the ceremony will probably be right around 3 o'clock, but if you could assemble around 2:30, it's a great opportunity to sort of honor the unsung airmen out at Nellis. The Air Force is under a lot of pressure to meet some new standards, and obviously we have a growing threat internationally. And so these are the young men and women who are helping Nellis Air Force be a success. So come on out. It means a lot to the airmen and to the folks at Nellis Air Force Base to have a nice Rotary presence. So, and then if you have a real ID, please bring that along. That you'll need that to get on things. So, thank you.
Very good, thanks, Don. It's always a wonderful event. Get out there to the Air Force Base and have a shoulder to shoulder with some of the airmen and some of those, especially those that are recognized by Wetzel Awards. Jim Cole, please. Jim, can you tell us a little bit about Summer Santa Claus?
That was a long one from the water. President Turk and my fellow Rotarians, I'm happy to announce that we're doing Summer Santa Claus again this year. Past President Ginger and I have got it already set up with JC Penney with a clothing cart, but we're also looking for toiletries for the kids and specific ask is for full-size soap, deodorant, lotion, and additionally, feminine pads, especially ultra or thin ones. So if you could gather those, we greatly appreciate that. And bring them in, I'll get a pickup date that will be concurrent with the date that the clothes are going to be dropped off at project. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. All right. So there's so much confusion going on right now up here that we're going to try to figure out because we gave away 25 grand. 28 grand, whatever it is. Okay, so the foundation check is for $13,578. So there's 5 winners, but 3 of them are here. So if Tom, Jim, and Russ would come up here, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. I got a check for each of you. Believe it or not. Oh my goodness. Wow. So if you had the whole room involved, how much money would each of us have?
Well, I didn't figure out the math on that, and you know, I at the last minute, I almost went lone wolf that day. I had 5 tickets, and then because I love these guys, and we went ahead and did a group pool thing, so there's 5 of us that won, right?
Right. Well, really, to be had. There's yours for Russ, and there's one here for Tom. And there's one here for Jim. All right, my goodness. Can you believe it? Isn't this what it's supposed to be about? Giving money away? I love it. Congratulations, you guys. I wasn't here for this. You sent me away. You sent me 8,000 miles away from home to make sure I wasn't in the grave. That's it.
We're going to donate to the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, though, right?
Correct. That's correct. Very good. $13,578.50. That's a big number. It's a big number. All right. So we're gonna do a raffle, but before we do that, I just want to remind everybody to, if you haven't already, just get your pledge forms in. There's some at the front desk, and get those things completed. Sean is trying her best to get everything organized for that. All right. So let's do the raffle. Or what's the number today? Anyway, $6 or $7 million. What's it say? How much is it? 665. That's the number I thought. Okay, very good. All right. So the last 4 digits. We'll go with the last 4. 8734. Anybody? Yeah. We got to look out, Jim. Oh my gosh, it's coming up. Hey. Wow. Wow. Holy cow. All right. So what do we do with these cards, huh? Let's see what's going on.
It's only 2 cards, a joke.
Yeah.
I promise we'll give the money away a few times this next year. At least I hope we do.
Yeah, sure.
That was tough. Tony had a hard time with that. She couldn't believe it. I won $25,000. Has anybody ever done this? All right, for the lottery box, it's 8712. 8712. Anybody want to go out for lunch? Dinner? We got 8712. Yeah, boy. Very good, sir. Here, I'll meet you halfway. Well, you didn't. It's okay. You didn't need them that bad. You have them now. Congratulations.
All right. So now we got the raffle situated. We got a little bit of time, I think, for fellowship. What time is it anyway? Yeah, we got plenty of time. So there's there's probably very little business of the club to be had right now, but man, we've been very busy. Board's been working with me, the administration's working with me. We're trying to get this budget situated. We are moments away from being done with it. There may be a little bit of a difference with how we handle the wheel. That's the one thing that's still kind of pending. That the printing vendor is working with us diligently to design a wheel that may be a little different than what we've had in the recent past. That's yet to be seen completely. We haven't had a rough draft, we haven't had just a format, but it's getting done. So I'm going to actually send out a survey, and I want to get some feedback on what the wheel means to each of you. It's really kind of important to me. Instead of using a wheel as a placemat that sits at everybody's place where they sit, we're thinking of putting them in a stand-up at the bench table. So you would help yourself take one when you want one. And maybe put one or two at the table so that you can share if you didn't get one. It's an idea. So I'm going to send it out. It's going to go out in email. It's going to be a survey of sorts. That decision will have to be made sometime in the next 10 to 15 days as to how exactly we deliver. Anyway, that's it for now. It's time to chat up and have a little bit of lunch and have a good time. We'll be back with the speaker here around 1.
drinking coffee and having a good conversation. I want to interrupt you because we need to introduce our speaker for the day. And I think I have a good impression on everyone in terms of how we put this together this week. Anyway, Nikki Bates is going to introduce our speaker for today.
Dr. Bates.
Thank you, Dr. Bates. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor, an absolute honor to be the person that gets to introduce Lisa.
Yay!
Many of you may remember, but Lisa is a member of the club. She has not been able to be here for quite some time, and when you hear what she has to say, you will understand why. Lisa, when she heard that, that's $28,000, that was just, what else? She leans over to me and she goes, Nikki, I really wanted $2,500. Lisa actually pulled a joker back, I don't know how many years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, and won $2,500. But boy, right? I'm going to read only one sentence out of this, and then I'm going to talk about it. But there's something in here that needs to be reiterated at least 500 times. And that is, she is currently the Vice President of Sports and Special Events for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. In this role, Motley led the team to secure 3 NFL tentpole events, Pro Bowl, Draft, Super Bowl 58, as well as the 2028 NCAA Men's Final Four and 2025 Wrestling event. Lisa is the person, I say the person, but she says maybe there's a team, who is, I want to say single-handedly responsible for bringing sports to our town. She is the face of everyone, working so diligently to bring our town, our city, our huge city, more money, more economic development, and what I got done telling Lisa just a bit ago, a true family town. I'm a Las Vegas native. I have lived here my whole life. I heard over and over and over again, Nikki, there's never going to be pro sports here because of gambling. That just can't happen here. I may not be like my father, who's from Cleveland, the sports maniac. But what I discovered and know about sports is that it brings people together. That is something that this town, prior to sports, really had not had. When I went to even an Aviators game, I'll never forget just sitting there, looking at the families, looking at babies over shoulders, who everybody was just having a good time. Whether or not you were paying attention to the game or not, the one thing you were doing was communicating with other people in your community. That's what Lisa and her team have done for this city. Yes, economic development, absolutely, but they've also brought people together. And that is something growing up here I never, ever thought was going to happen. How many of you are familiar with Leadership Las Vegas? You've been in Leadership Las Vegas. Okay, Lisa and I are dragons. We are 2019, cohort 2019, and Lisa and I were actually in the same life journey group. And Lisa and I look fluffy guys, but I'm really anything but. And we looked at each other. It's one of those, you get together and you spill your guts to each other. And we looked at each other and went, I won't say the word I want to say, but are you kidding me? I'm not, doing this. Go get counseling if you need that kind of stuff, right? And before we knew it, we were spilling our guts, right? And things flew out of our mouth that we were like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And she we walked out of there and she's like, I can't believe I said what I just said. I had no intention of doing that. She was the same way. But I'll tell you what, it brings people together like never before. And back to LVCDA and what they do to this community and Lisa's hard work. And one other point
she's a woman, right? And she is doing this in a very, very male-dominated, a male-dominated place. And I'm using sports and media management, but that's what she does. And I would like you all to give a very warm welcome to Lisa Motley.
Hello, everybody. Apologies that I've been MIA for 2 years. I'm going to go through some stuff today, and you'll probably, like Vicki said, understand why. I am very happy to say, though, I actually went into Rosalie at a real estate panel I was on, and I kind of told her I'm still in LA, but I'm coming back, and so I'm very honored that Tony asked me to be one of her last speakers here. She and Rosalie are responsible for bringing me into the club a couple years ago. And I'm happy to tell you I will be back full-time in July. I'm really looking forward to taking back up the club. I really enjoyed it. So with that, I am Lisa Motley, or so I'm told. I'm the Vice President of Sports and Special Events for the LDCBA, the Las Vegas Convention and District Authority. I have been there 7.5 years, and I have been promoted 3 times. So I started as a manager, went to director, went to senior director, now I'm vice president. And my team, we have the awesome responsibility of recruiting sports programming to drive tourism or heads and beds, which generates a room tax, a misnomer. I have a slide I should have shared it, but that room tax doesn't just go to us. So, for example, on a scale of $1, we get about 38 cents. The school district in Nevada Education gets 42 cents. Some of it goes to Metro. Some of it goes for paving of roads. So while F1 may not have been everybody's greatest event here, and we're trying to rectify that, it did generate quite a bit of economic development for our community. So everything we do from a room tax standpoint is actually better in the community. I've been asking the LDCBA now for a couple of years to get in front of that messaging. I think that's the important one, is to understand how much money actually goes into our pockets. So with that, we have now a new mission. We are going to make Las Vegas the undisputed global destination for leisure and business sales. Simple. A fun thing for me in the sports landscape is I touch both. So we are going to bring sports programming. It could be a Super Bowl, it could be youth and amateur, but it could be a convention at a sports room. And so I get to touch those facets, which is really awesome for us. And again, I told you earlier, our main goal at my department is to drive visitation. We have over 156,000 hotel rooms, and we stay laser focused on this job at hand. We've got 15 million square feet of meeting and convention spaces, and we're home to the top three of the largest convention centers, including the Mandalay Bay, Sam's Expo, and the Las Vegas Convention Center. And again, we bring programming. So when we bring the Super Bowl, this last time around, the Fan Fest was at Mandalay Bay. The next time we get the Super Bowl, which I'll tease you about in a little bit, we'll go to the West Hall at the Las Vegas Convention Center because we own and operate that. So from a financial responsibility standpoint, that's in kind. We can provide that to you for free. So when we have Final Four in 2028, that Fan Fest will be at the Convention Center. Next year in 2025, WrestleMania will be there. So every marquee event will come to the West Hall. And now we've freed up the congestion around Allegiant Stadium. We've made it truly citywide. That properties like Fontainebleau, Resorts World Win kind of get a piece of the different action they don't get by being on the north end of the strip. Some of the cool selling points we use for Las Vegas, we're category 1. We have 320 days of sunshine. My tan is natural. Average temperature is 80 to 10 degrees. I'm a kid from Minnesota. 80 degrees is an absolute wonderful, wonderful degree. Yeah. And then only 4 inches of rainfall. The comedic thing on this is, as we were putting in the bid for the Final Four, we had to put together a what happens if it rains plan. Very fun for Super Bowl. When I'm working on the bid, we had to put in a winter contingency plan to figure out how we would get the snow out. Turns out we actually have snow plows up at Mount Charleston. And there's some snow plows because in Dallas it snowed during the Super Bowl. And we're looking at them like you are crazy, but we put that plan into place. We also focus a lot on off-strip. The Convention Center or Convention Authority, we're responsible for all of Clark County. So that is North Las Vegas, Boulder City, Laughlin, etc. Las Vegas just has more panache, so we're the Las Vegas Convention and Visitor Authority. But this is really what sells the destination. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas didn't resonate with all of the businesses. When people try to bring businesses here, wives would go, no, I don't think so, honey, you're not having your convention in Vegas. So we really try to sell all the things you can do off the strip. All right, I have the coolest job in the world. This is my product. This is what I sell. I don't sell insurance or financial services. I sell 150,000 hotel rooms for 365 days a year. Fun fact, we have more than 20,000 hotel rooms than our second competitor, leading competitor, which is Orlando. And we run on average 80% full. Wow. National average is 80%.
Sorry about that, I couldn't use my
He's muting himself, it's all good. But how did we get here? I'm good, I'm sorry. We've had a sleepy history with gaming, and we evolved to entertainment, and then we evolved to hospitality. But how? So in 1905, in May, San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake City Railroad was completed. It provided a direct link from Salt Lake to Los Angeles, sparking the growth of the Las Vegas economy. In the 1930s, the Hoover Dam, formerly Bowler Dam, was started construction in 1931. It's known as one of the greatest engineering feats today. And with that construction came work, and workers flooded the area. And they were looking for entertainment options when off the clock. In 1931, the Nevada State Legislature legalized gaming. And the Hoover Dam was completed under budget and on time in 1935. Now we go to 1940s, we're past the post-war years, and businesses are eager to capture the attention of tourists. The Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce led the way and rallied businesses to promote Las Vegas. The 1950s brought the growth of the hotel and casino industry, and Vegas offered glamorous shows, Hollywood stars, buffets, and games of chance. But while the tourists crowded the hotel pools, showrooms, and casinos on the weekends, town leaders were caught with, what do we do midweek to drive business? In 1955, the state legislature formed the Clark County Fair and Recreation Board, which is now the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, and they were tasked with driving that midweek business. And they thought, and they knew, trade shows and conventions were the ticket. So in 1957, we had the groundbreaking of the Las Vegas Convention Center. In April of 1959, we hosted the very first convention there, World Congress of Flight. Happy birthday to the LVCC. We are 65 years old this year. And that venue would soon become home to local sports, tournaments, graduations, and was the Beatles' only stop in Las Vegas in 1964. And today, we are a super dynamic destination, always pushing the limits on new experiences. Obviously, we win quite a bit of awards. So following along with, we built the city, we figured out how to do the midweek business, and now we're in like the 1980s, 90s, and we are building at a huge pace. And now we need to drive more tourism. So what happens? Those same leaders were tasked with figuring that out. And they turned to sports. In fact, modern Vegas has been a constant evolution. We haven't looked back, we haven't slowed down, and we're a destination that has evolved to host tourism. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong side. So they all say it's the sports capital of the world. I call it the sports and entertainment capital of the world. I just went out with that slogan, and if you Google it, now it's out there, and we just keep making sure that we are reiterating how that happened. But in reality, we've had sports since the 50s. We've all seen the boxing matches, NASCAR's been here for years, PBR, NFR, NBA Summer League. But right now, it's the first time in the LVCC and the LVCVA history that we're leaning into it as a vehicle to drive sports tourism. So for me, and my paycheck, I'm happy with that decision. But one of the most monumental decisions that have happened, we talked about constant evolution. Las Vegas constantly evolves to host. But without the infrastructure, we were kind of just sitting there with Thomas and Mack and Orleans Arena. But the first arena in 2016 was a joint venture with MGM Resorts and AEG, and they opened the T-Mobile Arena. And that enabled the first NHL expansion team the Golden Knights to come to Las Vegas. Fun fact, I'm guessing someone's going to ask me about the NBA. T-Mobile Arena was purpose-built for both hockey and NBA. We had a tour there yesterday on a site visit with some potential clients. And one side of the arena is NBA and one side is NHL. MG Resorts is going to make a bid for it. Yes, Oakview is building a venue down in Las Vegas Boulevard. I don't care who gets it, let's just get ourselves an NBA team. But T-Mobile really stepped the ante up for us. And it proved that we could punch above our weight. So the second was the construction of Allegiant Stadium, the Death Star, and allows Raiders to move to Las Vegas, ultimately paving the way for us to host the Super Bowl. Among major marquee events, we've got Copa America Soccer coming here in the next 3 weeks. We've got WrestleMania there, college football playoff. You may have seen the news that we are hosting at 27, which is funny because I haven't even submitted a bid yet. So I'm not sure. That's probably the year we have, yes. That'll take place with Allegiant Final Four. I guess the Super Bowl's back in 29. We'll go on a rotation. But it's all because of everything we built for the infrastructure. Here's your beautiful Allegiant Stadium. It came across from the Senate Bill 1, which added some tax revenue to the existing taxes, through tax to help pay for that. Here's a fascinating fact about Allegiant Stadium that makes us a category 1. There are 54 hotels with 69,000 rooms that are within 2 miles of Allegiant Stadium. Wow. So when we sell the destination, it's a 4-mile, 4-square miles. So you've got Harry Reid Airport, that's 3.1 from the center of the strip. You've got Allegiant Stadium, the downtown, and with this boring company, the Vegas Loop, which I think you've heard of in the past, they've now broken construction down Paradise by UNLV, that'll be the main corridor. That is going to connect everybody in no time. So for example, coming from Las Vegas Convention Center, right now to Allegiant Stadium will be 20 minutes in my car. It'll be five minutes in a Tesla, direct route, and $6 for everybody in that car. So now you've opened up park and rides at the convention center. Everyone freaks out about Allegiant Stadium doesn't have any parking. We don't need parking. 75% of people walk over the Haskell Bridge. So it really makes this a great experience for teams and fans. We give the example of Super Bowl. I was in Arizona, I got stuck on a bus for an hour. I didn't pay for my ticket, so I didn't care what team won or lost, but can you imagine? Bert, you paid 10 grand for a ticket, and your team lost, and now you're stuck on a bus for an hour to get back, and junior can't go to college anymore? Not a good experience. But if you're in Vegas, and you can just walk across, cry over a beer or a craps table, it's a better experience. Over a 4-year period, we went from having 0 professional sports teams to having 3. Obviously, we are currently working on the 4th one with the Aces. That remains to be seen, but I would venture a guess that we're going to be held to MLB soon. The infrastructure we have built has enabled professional sports to come to town, but through research, we identified that the sports audience is a new, untapped, and more valuable audience for tourism marketing. I'm going to stop here and tell you this is someone else's presentation that they're letting me use. And I'm just going to read it because that's probably party line, but I've known for 7.5 years since I've been here that this is an untapped market. So I'm glad they're finally leaning into it. But we have found that live sports shows strong potential to drive incremental visits. What incremental visits means is if you're coming to Las Vegas for a convention or whatever, that's not incremental. If you're coming to Las Vegas to see a sporting event, that's incremental. If you're here and you decide, NASCAR's here, I'll go to that, not incremental. We're just shifting you around town. So incremental is where the value is for us. Sports visitors represent 6% of visitation from last year, or about 2.4 million. Doesn't seem like a high number in context, but can you imagine any destination wanting 2.4 million visitors to send on their town and the economic opportunity? I'll take it. They also spend 13% more than the average visitor. And, back to incremental, in fiscal 2024, we are fiscal July and June, 97% of visitors for sports were all incremental. So that's business we weren't going to have without those events. And again, kudos to our marketing team. In 2021, we launched an integrated advertising campaign to stake our claim as the ultimate sports destination and position Las Vegas as the greatest arena on earth. The point is, Las Vegas is the arena. Here's one of the 3 spots that we play to reinforce that message.
In Las Vegas, it is always on. From showtime to go time to play that back in slow-mo time. It's 5 square miles and then some. Heart racing, pulse pounding, barely catch your breath time. So if you're ready for the spotlight, come ready to play. Because there's only one place. You are never on the sidelines. Las Vegas, the greatest arena on earth.
We can't just go out with a campaign and not back it up, so we gotta go out and get all the sports from it. And I think one of the misnomers is, everyone says, if Vegas wants it, Vegas is gonna be there. Okay, there's some truth to that, right? The LBCBTA, we have a $400 million operating budget each year, so we're not like Orlando or Texas, they have a grant fund, we're gonna write a check. So we met with Final Four, they asked us if we needed to get grants, and our CEO said, no, we're just gonna write the check. We're not gonna fundraise for it. Super Bowl is a little bit different. But we're not looking to sell sponsorships to the government. We can't make any money on it. We're funded by that hotel room tax. We're not going to ask the hotels to pony up money. Like that, they already give us the room tax. So there's a lot of work that goes into getting these events. For example, the Super Bowl bid was 250 pages, and that involved everything. It gave me 9 months during COVID to work on it, but it's public works, it's metro, it's finding the hotels, it's finding the venues, it's finding training sites, and the actual stadium. A lot of people in this town came together. Over 400 people helped put on the Super Bowl, so we should all be very, very proud of them. And this one was a very amazing day in my career. We ended up on the cover of Sports Illustrated with a full feature on how Las Vegas had hit the jackpot as the sports and entertainment. From an earned media perspective, we've been in every major global production or publication with headlines like, Las Vegas is kind of the biggest arena on earth right now. That is not something we take lightly. American Express just published their 2024 Global Travel Trends and legitimized sports travel as an emerging trend. And I'm happy to report that Las Vegas has been seen as one of the top global destinations for sports. We also work for this company. I'm going to fast forward because I know I'm running out of time, so I apologize. I can sit here for hours and talk about Las Vegas and sports, but maybe I should have done a two-part, 2 week. So today I'm going to dive a little bit into F1 and Super Bowl. Our goal for the Super Bowl wasn't just to execute the best ever. It was to ensure that Vegas would be well represented to the 100 million people and eyeballs watching globally, and leverage that year-long NFL fan base to put Vegas top of mind for visitors, not just for the week of the game. Some fun facts about the Super Bowl. It was a $1 billion economic impact. Wow. That is a $400 million incremental impact than if we had not hosted Super Bowl. An average Super Bowl weekend is about 600 million. This was an additional 400 million economic impact of the destination. That was corporate dollars coming in, not just Joe King. There was $12 million in room tax that came to the LBCBA. Remember, we only get 38 cents of that. So look at how much money actually went out to the community. The Super Bowl was the longest in record in history with 74 minutes and 57 seconds. It was in Vegas overtime. It's always on for us. That was great. And then they broke some records. It was the 7th longest game in NFL history.
We are coming to you live from Las Vegas. We are counting down the Super Bowl 58 and a rematch between the Niners and the Chiefs. Around 450,000 visitors are expected throughout the weekend. Biggest game in American football is here. This is the day. This is the day that we've been waiting for. 2024. It's high.
This eventually showed that when everyone is able and willing to work together in Nevada, we can get it done.
Safe to say the airflow is slowly coming back.
For my 49er fans. Any Chief fans? All right. Everything we do in Vegas is good. I don't know if Jeremy Aguero's ever spoken to the club. If not, I would love to get him on to speak. But he has a saying: when the world tells Vegas they can't, that's when we double down. And this bet paid off. It was the most watched telecast in history. It was also the most talked about Super Bowl in the past 4 years, with 84 billion impressions. For context, that's more than the last 2 Super Bowls combined for Super Bowl commercials. And it had a staggering, we talked about the $1 billion economic impact. Moving on to the elephant in the room, I promise you this is going to be an event that the community will be proud of. We are doing everything we can to make sure there's inclusion. I also talked about bringing F1 out to talk to you all about what the road closures will look like. We're tracked, who used to be with us, now with them. They're working on some great community initiatives. They kind of figured out where they fell a little short. But from a tax impact, it did kind of go back into the schools. So it's a massive global sport. It has 1.4 billion in viewership. Now they're up to 70 million per race. But this was another event that we decided to lean into for Las Vegas. They had more than 3 billion impressions just for our announcement that F1 was coming to Las Vegas. Lots of pretty pictures. Exactly 1 year before the race, we did host a fan fest and launched, we let Mercedes and Red Bull drive down the Las Vegas Boulevard, which is a great hit. It also drove us 5.2 billion impressions media-wise to promote Las Vegas. So there was some going back and forth, but this is Max Verstappen. Anybody follow F1? Anybody go to the race? Yes. What do we all think? Awesome. So here's Max Verstappen, who won our race. He's in an Elvis suit. He thought it was kind of a spectacle. I'm going to play this video for you, but I do want to, I like to always go back here. So remember how the water valve fell? Everybody hear about that? The water valve stopped practice?
Oh, yeah.
So that was the FIA. That was not Clark County or Public Works. Clark County Public Works said, no, if we do it the way it currently is, it'll hold. And the FIA said, no, it won't. We're going to do it our way. And sure enough, we did it their way and it didn't hold. If we had just trusted the experts, it would have been fine. Just put that out there for your friends. All right, so this is one of my favorite videos for F1.
This is the greatest spectacle in motorsport.
To see cars zipping down the strip is really amazing.
Come on, it's Vegas, baby. Vegas is a spotlight in Formula One. Amazing. From Las Vegas, a Saturday fight night like no other. Good show, spectacular. And it's lights and over we go. The top two got the run.
Hold the position.
The atmosphere is really electric.
This feels really dynamic.
Light, cameras, action. Let's just have one pretty steady rocky roads once again. One thing. I gotta go. I gotta watch the Grand Prix.
So there was a couple wins out of the Grand Prix. So does anybody understand why we have this event third week of November, right before Thanksgiving? No. It is the slowest weekend every year in Las Vegas. We look at programming and put it during times of need. It was the busiest time at the airport in history. Room rates, we're going to adjust that this year. Rooms attendance was up. So we look to put programming on need times. So that race will stay the week before Thanksgiving, at least for the next 2 years. We have a 5-year deal with them. The county has the right to issue a permit for 10 years. But considering they spent $300 million on a permanent facility, I don't think they're going anywhere, and we're going to help them make sure. But we also had realized a $1.5 billion economic impact from that race. That was $77 million in room tax generated. Staggering amounts. $6 million came to the LBCA. Backing up to the Super Bowl and the room tax, the February Super Bowl was the highest tax recorded in the history of Las Vegas. It was up 50% the year before. So wrapping up, I'd like to leave you with my quote from Frank Sinatra. Vegas, where the odds are in your favor, and if your favor is having a ridiculously good time.
Don't stay here. Stay right here. Yep. So what we can do, what President Tony would like to do is have an award in your name. So the salute to service, and it will be for some of our airmen, I believe, is where we're bringing sport is. And then behind that is a book that you may have, I think. Well, there you go. There's a book about your club. I think so. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we adjourn.